Hello everyone, this is Mate from Virginia, and I'm going to be discussing some of the modifications I did on my new Ariens EFI Platinum 24 Sho super high output snowblower. One of the first modifications or upgrades I did was installing this LED light. It was a tough LED light that I purchased off of Amazon. I picked up a piece of stainless steel 3/16, spray painted it black and bent it to the angles I needed in a hydraulic bender. I also had some of this hose lying around, so I used that, sealed it completely, make sure no moisture could get inside and corrode or anything. I also used these tie downs, these stickies, to hold the hose in place. I also, when I picked up when the snowblower arrived, these wires were just dangling everywhere, so I sort of cleaned them up, tie wrapped them up, and I also put in my own ground wire right here. I ran my own ground wire there and just ran it up to through this. I made a small hole, poked it through, ran it up, then sealed it with caulking so no moisture could get in there. I ran the wires up and tucked everything underneath. I also put a switch in, a dedicated switch for the lights. I tried to position it where it be as convenient as possible. On a lot of the reviews I saw where people installed LED lights, they use bridge rectifiers. Well, I chose to use a AC DC converter, which simply converts the AC to DC. Basically the same thing, just a different way of doing it. But the good thing about this is it has the capacitor built in, so I didn't have to worry about any flickering. And I purchased a box to mount it in to keep it waterproof, and these are some of the connections. The end wires, which are these wires here, the yellow from the stator goes to, it could go either way because it's AC, but I just chose this one, and then my ground goes to the other one. Then the wires that go to the light would be the yellow, and then the black would go to the black. And this is what it looked like after I'd finished wiring it in. Tried to make everything look clean as possible. Tucked everything in there so it's nice and neat. This was my switch that I installed also, which I purchased off of Amazon. It's a heavy duty waterproof switch. This was the light that I purchased. I actually purchased a package of 2 because I had planned on installing both of them, but at the last minute I decided I'll just install one of them. But I got these off of Amazon. Another modification upgrade that I did was I installed these side marker lights. I purchased these off of etrailers.com. I purchased 2 of those and put one on each side. However, this I chose to run it with on a battery power, and I also installed a switch for these lights too, the same type of switch, heavy duty waterproof switch. And right below it is the battery box that I installed, which I purchased from eTrailer. And this pigtail allows me to charge the battery without having to open it up and charge it. Makes it much more convenient. And because I had installed it on a battery, I'm able to just go ahead and turn it on. Also, you may notice that spotlight. I also installed a rear marker light, sort of like something that will mark the trail. This was a light that I just picked up from the auto store. Just mounted it to the top of the control panel. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly turn the light off to just give you a brief idea of how bright it is. They're pretty bright. Definitely be able to see if you're snow blowing at night time. The white marker light was something I just came up with at the last minute. I just said, oh, why not? This was the switch that I picked up from Amazon, heavy duty, triple sealed, waterproof, and this was a battery that I used that's inside of the battery box. It's a lithium battery. Picked this up from Amazon also. And the light that I picked up from the automotive store was just a simple, inexpensive marker light. And this was just when I was in the process of installing the side marker light, the red marker light. Another addition I made was just a simple tool holder, just something to hold some of the extra shear pins, a couple wrenches to change them out. Picked this up from, I believe it was Home Depot. It was only about $3 or $4 maybe. But I mounted this. I didn't want this falling off, so I mounted this just to make sure it stayed on and it didn't fall off or vibrate its way off. And that's pretty secure. So that's on there. Also when I mounted the battery box, it was a KC holder or mounting device that I used. I actually had that lying around, so that came in handy. I don't know if you can quite see it, but here it is right here. That's what holds the battery box in place. I also picked up some armor skids and added those to the snowblower. I also picked up the spacers because for this particular model it needed spacers. As you can see, 2 spacers in there. And here, this was simply where the weight would go if you were going to purchase a weight kit for this. So what I did, I put a hook up there, mounted that, and that's simply when I'm transporting the snowblower, I can just tie it down Okay, so what I'm going to do now, just going to do a quick walk around, and then I'm going to turn off lights and then start the engine and turn on the headlight, and you'll have an idea of how bright the headlight is. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start the engine and turn off the lights. that's the review of some of the modifications I did on my new Ariens EFI snowblower. The 17 horsepower easy launch EFI engine. Thank you for watching.